Well, howdy there, friends and neighbors. This is Crazy Ray. I know you guys haven't heard from me in quite some time because I've been a little bit busy, and I'm currently out here in Goodyear at one of my listings. And well, let's just say I'm going to be doing some impromptu pool work. I'm not sure if you can see that right now. What happened was we had some work that needed to get done on this house, and the plumber came out and did that work, disconnected all the stuff that went to the swimming pool, which means this swimming pool has not been getting water and not been getting topped off and not been getting skimmed and not been getting chlorine and not been getting anything. And so here I am knocking it all out for my client. And you know what? If y'all got a real estate agent who wouldn't skim a pool for you, what kind of real estate agent do you have? Talk to y'all later.
Well, hi there. My name is Charles Ray Dawson. I'm the Associate Broker Residential Sales Manager of ProStar Realty. This is the Unnamed Real Estate Podcast. It's recorded live on location, episode 186. How you guys all doing today? Wow, yeah. So, I promised myself I was going to fix my hair before we kicked all this off. It ain't going to happen. So, in case you haven't noticed from the intro video and stuff like that, I am out here at my wonderful location, Jackson. And we are under contract, set to close in 2 weeks, which means we've gone through the Binzer process. We had repairs in that were asked for by the buyer. We said yes to some of them, no to others, and we decided at the end of the day to do about 4 or 5 things. Some of them me and the client did ourselves, because don't tell the wife this, but I can actually do light household mechanical duties. And I came out here today just to check on the place, and I noticed that the plumber, when he redid a hose bib, took off the timer faucet that we had keeping the pool filled, and the drip system, disconnected both of those and did not reconnect them. And so I reconnected everything, got everything going, and I've been pretty much out here since 11 o'clock today, refilling the pool, did some, pool skimming and everything like that, had a really good time with that, and I've been trying to do all of this remotely. So we have the technology. I can actually record here. I can actually upload that video that I shot on my phone. I've been trying to get it off my phone and onto my PC. And of course, technology never works out as well as it's supposed to. So that's that. So anyways, been having a really good time. Hold on just a second. I just realized. I left my drink in the kitchen. So, all right. So, what do we have going on in real estate today? Well, in the real estate world, saw a news flash come out from the National Association of Realtors saying that apparently the Freddie Mac loans are down to 6 1/4. 30-year fixed, 20% down. Your mileage may vary depending on your credit score and how much you're putting down, but low 6s. That's big. When we get to the numbers here, you're going to see not a lot of change on that side, but we are anticipating the Fed rate drop here coming up in September, which will be, I want to say the second week. So that's going to make things really interesting, because we're already in if we're already in low 6s and we have a rate drop on top, you could see 5s. And like we've been saying, all hell's going to break loose when we hit the 5 mark. So, I'm trying to figure out whether I'm looking forward to that. I had buyers from heaven. Okay, just the ones you're not expecting to hear from. Next, they pop up out of nowhere. A nice lady had talked to her, probably about a year ago with another client. And she calls me up out of the blue, and she's ready to go. She's already qualified with a major national bank, which she happens to work for. And she's ready to go. So we went out there and saw 11 houses last Saturday. Started early, ended late. And out of those 11 houses, we had 3 that were completely viable. And we were looking at a price point that was $50,000 less than what she actually qualified for. So you guys have heard me every Week, Say, Buckeye, Maricopa. These are the buyer's markets. Well, I got to go play in a buyer's market for the first time in freaking forever, and it was awesome. So houses were in good condition. Houses were respectably priced. They're definitely first-time home buyer prices. She's getting a huge house. I mean, wow. Okay, just for the record, the house that we got under contract down in Maricopa is probably going to, we are under contract for $125,000 less than what my place here in Goodyear is. That's the kind of price change that we're looking at. And when you put on top of that, if she gets that interest rate, and they were quoting her also low sixes, which I thought was amazing, you know, her price point is looking really good. So the houses are out there. You just need to be willing to drive to them. Now, my original setup for this morning was I was going to start talking about, you know, starting this whole little chain of, different videos about, so you're ready to buy a house, so you want to buy a house, and we start going to go through the house process again. I know I did that way back in the day, but that was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and a lot of people have forgotten, and maybe the information might need to be updated. So that was the original plan, and the next thing you know, I'm playing pool boy. So next thing you know, I got a skill set that I can use if this real estate thing never works out, because we'll always have pools and we'll always have issues with pools. So let's go over the numbers really quick, because I just wanted to show you guys that. Okay, these are the numbers for August 28th, 2024. Actives this week are 18,063, up 216 from the previous week. New listings were 1,910, down 21. Our contracts were 1,909, so we actually got one more new listing than we had houses got in contracts, but that 1,909 was actually up 12. Our closings were at 1,298. Remember, there's at least a 30-day lag, right, between something going to a contract and something going to close. And coming soon to an MLS near you is 584. Our Crawford report numbers hardly changed at all. Supply stayed the same at 73.7. Our demand actually went down from 73.4 to currently a 73.3, which dropped our Crawford report number to about 99.5, and I think it was like 99.6 or 7 before. Looking at our neighborhoods and our areas, there's Maricopa, like I was saying, they're sitting at 70.6. They're still up 1% over the previous week. Buckeye is coming up. They're up over 12%, or 12% change. So they were at 61.7 last month. This month they're at 68.8. Still a long way to go before they actually get out of being a buyer's market. But at this rate, they might pass up Maricopa here in the next week or two. Queen Creek stayed the same at 71.9, a surprise drop to 80.4, and then Goodyear is the last of her. So Goodyear, Surprise, Queen Creek, Maricopa, and Buckeye. That's where your buyers want to be. All right, so the balanced markets right now, we have three: Tempe, Cave Creek, and Peoria. Tempe's doing that weird thing. They're actually down 13%. Cave Creek is up 18%. Cave Creek and Tempe are weird. Just remember that. Peoria dropped a little bit to 103.9, still in the balanced market. And then everything else is still considered a seller's market, with Fountain Hills at 178.7, up 8%. All right. Chandler is down 10% to 147.8. And I wonder how much of Chandler is suddenly realizing they can buy a comparable house for a hell of a lot less with only 30 minutes worth of commute. All right, Maricopa. I'm suddenly really hard on Maricopa. Let's go for it. Paradise Valley, 22% up. They have gone from a balanced market into a seller's market, but they're rich and we don't care. So what does that mean to us? It is a good time to be a lower end buyer right now. If you're a first-time home buyer, this is actually not a bad time to be a first-time home buyer. Now, I'm not talking about pricing, okay? Because 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and okay, so notice about 3-4 weeks ago, I did that It's the Inflation episode. I had like 54 views, okay, which for me is huge, okay? Because there's only like 5 people that actually watch myself, all right? And 2 of them are family, all right? So, but it must have just been the tagline. All right, the inflation number, and just people were looking at And I haven't really gone back to see, how long they watched, but hopefully a whole bunch of people sat there and realized, oh, wow, hey, this inflation thing, it actually does mean stuff. All right. But the interest rates are coming down. All right. Interest rates coming down to the point where 400, okay, I really should have cut and pasted that tweet I was looking at from the NAR economist, but she was talking about with the price drop, a $400,000 house, would be running about low twos for a mortgage payment, which is just about what you can run them for. Are we back in that motion? Are we back where it's cheaper to buy than to rent? Not quite yet, but it's getting there. A couple other things that we got coming on is a whole lot of national news. Now, this is the election year, so a lot of the national news has a grant or a slant to it. But apparently, and I did not read this article because I really don't care, if you are an undocumented worker in the state of California, you can get up to a $125,000 grant to purchase a house in California. I don't think that buys you anything in California, but hey, it's like, we got a problem, throw money at problem. All right, so that all being said, I got to go scrub the bottom of this pool real quick, turn the water off, be on my merry little way. Hope you guys have a really good time. I have absolutely no clean segue into it because I'm already in the pool. I'm going to talk about watching the children and pets around your pool. All right. The reason why we keep our pools clear and blue and not green is so if anybody falls in there, you can see them. I couldn't see the bottom of this pool. All right. There could be things down there. I might hear that disembodied voice go, roll for initiative, as I call it. But I might level. All right. Don't drive in anything flooded. You guys really work your circles. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys all later.